Hey y'all, what's going on? It is the Teeya Skipper here. I have missed you. I hope you missed me. And I am here with a terribly needed piercing video. Now, I ain't pumped out these piercing videos like that in a long time, but I see now more than ever that it is needed, okay? Y'all have been hitting up my inbox on IG. Now, let me say this. I appreciate y'all coming into the IG, Facebook. Y'all have hit me up everywhere but the email that I put in the description box. Ask me, I don't know why. Ask me why, I don't know. But the Saints then found me on Instagram, child. People have inboxed me on Facebook with all kind of questions and graphic pictures, might I say. We need to talk about it. We need to talk because I'm concerned. I have some concerns for y'all, and we need to talk about what's going on with y'all piercings. The reason why I even started doing piercing care videos is because when I was going to get my dimple piercings, y'all, I was like scouring the internet trying to find as much information as I could. And it was so hard. I was finding little stuff here and there, but never people who had like follow-up videos. I saw a lot of people's videos of their piercings going wrong. Some people had one dimple piercing left, the other one was gone, child. Some people were sharing their story about how they had to get their piercings cut out. It just was not looking good. And that was hurtful for me because it's like, oh my God, I was so dead set on getting these piercings, but everybody who I'm seeing, it's not working out. I need a success story. So that's why I started doing these videos. That's why I started Skipper Sweet Cheeks, which is my piercing care line, because literally when y'all ask me, what did I do? What did I go through? That's what I did. Like everything that I sell, I didn't make up nothing out the blue to make money. I didn't make up nothing to add it to a product line, child. I literally have just packaged up what I did to take care of my piercings and what I did to get them back on track when I had issues in the beginning. Okay, so let me start by saying that's why I do these videos. And so thank you to those who have supported the business, who have purchased, and thank you to those who realize that that's why I do it and who said thank you to me. You are welcome. Now let's get into some issues I've seen, and we're going to talk about them briefly because I'm going to do separate videos on those things individually. Okay. Number one, I am seeing a lot of people get their dimple piercings pierced multiple times. This is an absolute undeniable no. It's a no, sis, or bro, or whoever, because anybody can get their dimples pierced. It's an absolute no. And the reason why it's an absolute no is because you have scar tissue now. I don't know whose fault it is in terms of why your body rejected the piercing the first time. Maybe it was you. You didn't take care of them. Maybe it was your piercer. But in either case, your body said, no, get these up out of here. Push them out. And now you're trying to go back in and get them pierced again? No, it's scar tissue there now. And every time you go back and try to pierce that scar tissue, you are asking for problems. You are probably even asking to be devastated. Because guess who was? I was. Somebody shared their pictures with me on Instagram. She said they're a little graphic, but she did not prepare me for what I was about to see. If I can't remember the phobia, but if I was one of those people who was afraid of blood, I would have passed out. Okay? I don't wish that on nobody. Now, I ain't gonna say I don't wish that on my worst enemy. I'm not gonna say that. But I don't wish that on nobody who really just wants dimple piercings. You know what I'm saying? But they were bad, and I just wish that I'm like, oh my God, I wish I was like there to help or something. But let's talk about this. Let's talk about the issue of the dimple piercings. It's two things or two reasons why your dimple piercings could be going real wrong real fast, okay? And I'm gonna save the number one reason for last. Number one, you're not taking care of. You're not cleaning them properly. You're not treating them as sensitively as you should be. When I tell you, when I got mine pierced, these were my number one priority. That's why I call them dimple babies, because that's how I treated them. I treated them like they were my children. I treated them like they were the only thing that mattered in my life now at this point, like mothers do with their children. I treated them like now all of my focus and my energy has to go towards these children, because it did. Because I knew how high the rate of them going wrong was, I was determined to not be in that number. So because of that, everything else had to yield to these. I did not try to make the dimple piercers fit into my life. I changed my life, my routine, my ways of whatever I was doing at the time for my dimple piercings. And the moment I thought I could go ahead and do what I had been doing before I got them pierced, I learned very quickly that there's repercussions for that. That's when I got what I call nipples. When you get them bumps right outside your piercing, that's when I got nipples on them. And so I learned very quickly, that's not going to work. You're going to have to do what you need to do to get these to a good place. And then we can slowly incorporate the things that we used to do before. So number one, it may be going fat, but it may be going wrong real fast, real soon for you because you're not cleaning them properly. So if you say, well, Teeya, I be on it. I'm not wearing makeup. I don't sleep on my face. I'm doing my sea salt soaks 2-3 times a day. I'm not touching them. I'm washing my face properly. They're not being aggravated. I'm not wearing my hair down. I don't know what's going wrong. So in the rare case that you did everything you were supposed to do and it's still giving you trouble, the chances are that your piercer pierced it wrong. Just gonna call it what it is. That it's the chance that whoever pierced it, they was hoping for the best. Okay, they was shooting for the moon when they did your piercings, and I don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh because it's not funny, but that's probably what happened. Because you got to keep this in mind too. They're already, even if they're pierced right, they're already a hard piercing. You have to think of it like this: the thinner the veil of skin that is pierced, the easier it is to heal, the low amount of downtime. So if I was to get my eyebrow pierced, it's a very thin veil of skin. It's going to heal fairly quickly because there's not a lot of meat to go through. When you get your cheeks pierced, it doesn't matter if you're skinny or fat. Your cheeks still have a lot of meat in between them from the outside to the inside. And because it's so thick and because your mouth has moisture, there's just so many variables at play that make it hard, or that make this process take a little bit longer to heal. Even if you feel like, oh, they don't hurt. Just because they don't hurt doesn't mean that they're healed. If you took those piercings out, they would be closed within an hour or so. So when I say healing, I mean that this hole can stay open. And in truth, the thing that's keeping the hole open is the barbell, right? If you take it out for a prolonged period of time, it's going to close. And so back to the piercer, it could be that the piercer pierced it wrong. And it could also be that your body just rejected it. It could be that it was pierced perfectly fine and you completely took care of it, but your body just rejected it. That could be a case, but I almost guarantee you that's the least case scenario. I'm almost sure of it. And so this is what I talked to y'all about, vetting your piercer, okay? That should be, my question to you is how long did it take you to vet your piercer? Because for me, this was a month's process. So I need to know how long it took you to vet your piercers. And then what criteria were you going off of to know that this is the person that I want to do my piercings, okay? Well, did you see pictures? Did you hear testimonials? Did you reach out to those people who got pierced from that person? Like, did you go in and do a consultation? Did you do multiple consultations? Like, this is what it takes. You can't, I understand it's like when we just want something because we think it's going to be cute. You just kind of want to get it done and be the image that you see in your mind of what it's going to be. But there's so many consequences to that when you don't do the research. And unfortunately, for some people, it's irreversible consequences of that when you don't do the research. That's why it's just better to do it right the first time, because trying to do it right the second time, it's not going to work when you got scar tissue, okay? Leave it alone. And this is why you want to super vet your piercer so that you can lower the risk of having to get it. I'm not even going to say having to get it re-pierced because I wouldn't tell you to. But you could lower the chances of you missing out on this piercing that you want so bad, because that's what's going to happen. If you really, let me say this, take the amount of how bad you want this piercing and let that match how much time you wait to get it. Let that match the effort you put into making sure that the person who does your piercing does it the correct way. And let me give you a tip, because I'm gonna make these separate videos individually talking about other things, but let me give you this tip of how to know if this person should do your piercings. I'll just give you this one. If they're not just as apprehensive as you are about doing it, that ain't the one. Now, I don't mean apprehensive like they ain't never did it before, so they nervous. No, 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 no. I mean, they've done it before. They know the dangers of it. They know the likelihood of it healing. They know the drama of it. Like, if you're not talking to somebody who's telling you to think about if you really want to do this, if you're not talking to a piercer who's aware of the lifestyle or the breakdown of getting them, if they're just like, oh yeah, cool, it's nothing to do, you know what I'm saying, come on, I can do it today. Like, if they're so ready to do it, no apprehensions, telling you is nothing to heal them, all you gotta do is this, run. And I repeat, run clean up out of there, because they lying. I don't even care if a person who has them tells you that. I wouldn't trust them either. Run. Because what you won't ever regret is taking your time and making sure that you prepare properly for whatever piercing or tattoo that it is that you want to get. That's what you will never regret. But what you for sure will regret is running and going to get something done. You'll regret that for sure. Taking somebody's advice. Because what worked for them, it may not work for you. I've had my piercings for 7 years. Some of y'all have had them for 7 days and you don't have them anymore. You see how we're not the same? Now, I'm not talking about in terms of being better than you. I'm just talking about there's different things that go into it. We went to different people. We took care of them different ways. So you always want to steer on the side of caution with everything. You can never go wrong with taking your time. You can never go wrong with having your 5th consultation. I don't care if you had 17 consultations before you get this piercing. Don't you go get it until you feel comfortable with who's piercing it. Amen? Amen. And lastly, I'll say this. I get so many people in my inbox asking me questions about their piercings, showing me pictures, showing me videos. Baby, if you want to know what I did, if you want the results that I have, you got to do what I did. Now, listen, I ain't begging nobody to buy nothing. This is my business. You can get what you need or not. Or you can get it yourself, or you can do it yourself. But don't wonder why you don't have my results and trying to do it your way. That's like looking at something somebody cooked, or taste something somebody cooked and it came out so good. And you're like, oh my God, that's amazing. And then you go home and you come up with your own stuff. How's that working for you? It's not, is it? Okay. That's my point. Like, if you're going, figure out who you are going to trust for this process and follow the steps that they give you. It don't even have to be me. If you find a piercer and you feel like I can trust this person and their steps, like the piercer I found, I felt like I could trust her. I felt like I could trust the steps that she gave me. I followed them step by step. I did not reinvent the wheel. I didn't try to get creative and do something myself. I followed them like the T. Like, I followed them line by line by line by line. So y'all got to keep that in mind, because y'all be wanting people results and then you want to go do your own thing, and then you be wondering why you don't have the same results, because you did your own thing. You got to follow it line by line. It matters. Every single step matters. And that's another reason why some of y'all piercings are going wrong, because of the things you don't think matter. And those things are the reason why you got things on your piercings. Okay? Now, I love y'all. I know this may be a little tough talk, but it's got to be a tough talk, because you need to get it through your head that once you get a piercing, that's when things can go wrong really fast. And so to get ahead of that is to do as much work beforehand, before you get the piercing. And then once you do that work, then you make sure you do your part. Okay? I love y'all. Don't forget to check out Skipper Sweet Cheeks. The link's always downstairs below for your piercing care needs. And yeah, hit me up. Feel free to email me. I don't mind y'all inboxing me, but I'm not always on Instagram. Sometimes I'm not on Facebook. But feel free to email me if you have any questions. I may not be able to answer everything. I'm not a doctor child. I'm not a licensed nothing. This is my personal opinion off of my own experiences and what I have done to take care of my own piercings and to maintain the health of these dimples. Okay? That's what this is based off of. So some stuff I may not know. I may just tell you go see the doctor child. But if I can't help, if I did go through that, I will address it. Okay? I love y'all, as I said before, and I'll see y'all the next time you see me.